Howdy, I'm Brian Foley, and I'm the managing partner here at Houston Criminal Defense Attorneys, PLLC. Today we're going to be starting a new series here for our YouTube channel, and it's on the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And I don't know if we're going to go through every single section, but we're going to go through a lot. We're going to go through starting with the very first part, Chapter 1, 1.01 through 1.03. So let's start. Let's just start right out. We're going to take a look at it, what it says here. So Article 1.01 is just the title of the Code of Criminal Procedure. The act shall be known and may be cited as the Code of Criminal Procedure. It is done just like that. And this is the original act here is from 1965. We did have some codes before that, but most of what our Code of Criminal Procedure is based off of is the original 1965 Act. The effective date is January 1st, 1966, and it says the procedure herein prescribed shall govern all criminal proceedings instituted after the effective date of the Act. We've got 1.025, which is severability. If any portion of the code or its application is held to be invalid, meaning if the Supreme Court of the United States holds it invalid, then the other provisions will not be disturbed. And you used to have to put this kind of language in a statutory scheme. Otherwise, if a court overruled any part of the statute, then technically you could be arguing that the whole thing is invalid. Well, that's done away with by this, what we call a severability clause. And then, okay, this is the most important part for the original beginning of the Code of Criminal Procedure. It says objects of the code, and there's a really interesting one here. So it says this code is intended to embrace rules applicable to the prevention and prosecution of statutes, offenses against the laws of the state of Texas, and to make rules of procedure in respect to the prevention and punishment of offenses intelligible to the officers who are to act under them and to all persons whose rights are to be affected by them. It seeks, and here's what it seeks, the code, right? To adopt measures for the preventing of the commission of crime. Okay, seems reasonable. And then look at number 2. This is rough language here. To exclude the offender from all hope of escape. Really? To exclude the offender of all hope of escape. I feel like that is just what the language was really trying to do, was talk about bond, meaning like you're not gonna, if you get charged with a crime, you're gonna have to go through the process. We don't want to allow somebody to feel like, the case is going to be something you can avoid. You can't just leave and go somewhere else. But the next part here is to ensure a trial with as little delay as is consistent with the end of justice, to bring the investigation of each offense on the trial and all evidence tending to produce conviction or acquittal, meaning all the evidence, bring it all in, and to ensure a fair and impartial trial and the certain execution of the sentence of law when declared. So, interesting parts there, even for just a beginning aspirational statement, pretty interesting that they would say to exclude the offender of all hope of escape. When I was a baby lawyer, I had asked an older lawyer what would be the best thing I could do to learn, what I needed to do as a lawyer. How do I figure out getting from point A to point B? And he said, if you actually read the Code of Criminal Procedure cover to cover, you'll probably be one of like 5 lawyers in the state that's done it. Well, I did it. And I can agree. And most people do not read the code cover to cover. That sounds like a crazy task. It kind of is. But I'm one of the ones who did it. And we're going to kind of do it together on these video series. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and check out the blog posts if you don't like the video format. We're going to be going over it there too, and that is www.houstoncriminaldefenseattorneyspllc.com, and we've got a Google My Business up there as well. If you need to call us for anything, it's 713-703-1718. Thanks very much.